Alright, I'm going to do a general review over the Stillen body kit. I don't think anyone's done this before, but I think it's probably a good review for anyone who's probably considering and thinking about purchasing one of these kits. However, there are some pros and cons after installing it, and I like to go through it and let you know exactly what I think could probably be done or even fixed from the Stillen side as in regards to this kit that they designed. So this one here is a 2014 Nissan Maxima. This one just recently purchased, not too long ago, just last year, obviously. Anyhow, this is the 2014 Crimson Black Nissan Maxima. It's shooting out of my garage, sitting on 21-inch wheels. I'll talk about those wheels a little bit later on, but I'm just going to come in and get a little close-up and just give you a general idea on what to expect when buying one of these kits. There's going to be some pros and cons. I think a lot of people probably want to see the front end. Just let me show you. Okay, so this body kit here sits roughly, let's just say I'm thinking about probably a good 3 inches low from the side. So they did actually quite a good job in regards to the fit. There is one bolt in the back right there holding it in. It's using a double-sided tape. However, if you're thinking about buying one of these kits for the Nissan Maxima, my suggestion is to remove their tape that they use. It's not a good tape. It's just a regular double-sided tape, not an M3 brand, 3M brand, I'm sorry. But it'll hold, but my suggestion is to get a new one. So from the front side, I'm going to open up this garage real quick. Okay, just open up the garage just to give you a general idea what it's going to look like. So from the front end, it actually really doesn't stick out too much. Good clean look. Looks very good. As in terms of Stillen's quality work on their urethane kit, let's take a look here. The trimming on here is actually not, the edges here are not too bad. My suggestion is if you do take your kit to a body shop, just to make sure that they kind of smoothen out these edges, because they are not so smooth when they do come from Stillen. But it does look good. I'm gonna come into the front here a little bit more. All right, that's about that. Now, from the front here, they've done a pretty good cut as in regards to the kit itself. Got a nice little indentation here going down. The kit actually fits underneath inside the back of that billet grille. My billet grille is a little bit worn, being that this car is my daily driver. So that's from the side on what it actually looks like. Coming into the front here, so that's the front piece. Again, my suggestion is if you do take it to a body shop, is to have them smoothen out these edges here to give it more of that clean look. Stillen did a really good job on the front end of their lip. Looks really nice. I'm not going to go on to the other side because the side that I show you looks exactly the same as the other. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to pan back a little bit more just to give you a general idea of what the Stillen kit looks like from the front. So that's about that. Alright. Coming here on this side, looks pretty good too. Now, let me show you the side kit, which does have issues and problems. Okay, this is the side kit made by Stillen. However, I think that they didn't do a really good job on the side kit, and I'll just actually show you why. If you actually look here, it's actually done quite nice on the back here. This is actually pretty good. It does protrude out slightly in the back It's held on by 2 bolts. It does have the little air vent there. Alright, so this here kit probably sticks down roughly about, suggesting 3.5 inches, which is not too much in comparison to the stock. However, if you don't notice the problem regarding this kit, I'll actually show you why. Alright, so I've just opened up the door. If you actually come inside to the car, into the door panel part, I'm hoping this is going to be at least good enough for you to see. Okay. Where my finger is, where my finger is right here, there's a gap, which I could actually take the kit. You can't see it, but you can actually shift the kit up. What they made a mistake on is providing the wrong type of double-sided tape. My suggestion for anyone buying this particular kit is to use the 3M kit to hold up the kit itself. However, it is held up underneath as well, along with the ones in the front and in the rear on that. However, I'm going to stop it again and zoom back. Okay, so as I zoom back, I've closed the door. Now, if you can't see the problem in regards to this kit, you probably might see it right there. So, the kit itself wasn't made perfectly. If you notice, I'm going to be able to put my finger directly between the Stillen body kit and the door. So I have the door here, which I just opened. Once I close that door, you notice the edges here. You'll notice there's a big gap between the kit and the door. Now if you notice, between the stock side body piece, there is only a small gap that's probably the same amount of space here that runs on the stock one. So what I'm saying is the stock body will have the same exact amount of gap between here. However, Stillen, I could almost put I could actually put a finger in there. So this is the only mistake that I think that Stillen has made in regards to the body piece kit. Now I'm going to try to move out and actually use my shoe, and I'm sorry for not holding it still, and actually push it up a little bit. And even if I use my foot to push it up, there's still a gap. However, it's a detail that actually I notice. I think this Stillen needs to go back and probably revise this side kit. Now as I scoot back, you really won't be able to see it. But for me, if it's my car, I could actually see it. It doesn't look that great. But I do like the kit design, so I don't think I'm going to go back. I don't think I'm going to go back to stock. I will end up keeping the original kit on this. So now I'm going to review the back end section, which was actually done quite good as well in comparison to the front. However, the side body kit does need to be fixed. So let's take a look on this one. Okay, so I moved the car out, opened up the garage a little bit. You can see me in the reflection of the car. You probably wonder why this car is actually so shiny. I did a 6-stage detailing process on this vehicle, but that's not the point of today. Today is talking about this Stillen kit, and once again, those are 21-inch tires for anyone who wants to know. Okay, so the side body, actually the rear back end, looks like that. Let me try to zoom in. It's actually okay. Let me try to hold this still. It sits down roughly about I'm probably thinking of six inches or so in comparison to the stock. I actually put the stock one up, and it actually cuts up in that angle, so you're actually losing this piece here. So it does look good. Stillen did a really good job in regards to, you know, the edges right here. They did quite good. I'll try to zoom that in for you. Okay. However, once again, if you are going to buy this kit, my suggestion is to take it to the body shop, and once they are working on this particular body kit, is to have them sand on the edges, so when the paint goes on, it will be nice and smooth, fits in directly with the body. It's got one side bolt right there, and two that you cannot see directly underneath here. Now they did a really good job as in terms of getting it to wrap around the back. Here they also did a good job as in getting it to contour, and underneath there's one bolt directly right there. And so I will zoom back on this particular back end. However, I will need to close the garage a little bit so I can get a clearer view. Okay, this one's not so great. However, this is the back end. I will zoom in on the left side of the kit instead of the right, because we've already been there. Okay. As in regards to how far that back piece sits down, if you actually look at the exhaust, the lower end, it will actually line up to the vehicle. So that's actually pretty good. So they did do a good job. My suggestion, once again, for this body kit is to replace their tape by using a 3M tape, which actually holds a lot better, because what I did was on this particular side, I actually had to replace it with a 3M tape, because the Stillen tape, to me, was horrific. It didn't hold. It probably held about maybe a good 2 days before it actually came off. The body shop also did the prep as well by using the chemical, also as well as another chemical to remove any waxes, any oils, or any grease that might have been on the original paint, and just to help hold it up. So that's that. And so the kit on the side actually does look pretty good. It does hold up on that. The front looks really well. The side also looks good. Disregard all the wood chips on the floor. They stay out far from the city. And so the front sides look really good. Suggestion again is to use the 3M tape for holding the kit into place. Front piece comes perfectly down with the body. I'm going to move back over here again to the side doors. As you see my potted plants. Okay, here we go. This is even a better view. So the door is fully closed. Right here. The original one, I remember to take a look at yours. If you got the stock, take a look. You'll see it's a small gap. Probably the same amount of space between here. However, for Stillen, it's got such a big gap between the door and the body kit. This is where they messed up. This is what I want everyone to know and to see. So if Stillen could actually fix this, it'd be great. So I'm going to make another video, because I'm actually going to take this part off and put a new tape and try to move it back up, and to see exactly how much space I could actually reduce is in terms of the gap there. So that's that. Front fascia looks good. So that's pretty much it. That is the 2014 Nissan Maxima If you're curious as in regards to how low it sits, it's only a 1-inch drop by IBOC. So that's pretty much it, and I hope you enjoyed the review. Think about buying the kit. I'm glad that you watched the video, and come back to part 2 as I fix the left side lower body. Thanks, bye bye.